Hi everyone, it's Jill Lancet, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. How is everybody? I have a little bit of business to get out of the way first of all, so just bear with me while I do that. At the moment we have bonus days. Now for every $90 you spend, you will receive a $9 coupon to spend or redeem between the 1st and the 31st of August. Now, they are going to send it to an email address, so you must make sure that you have a valid email address when you are completing your purchase. They will send you a code. Now save those emails, write them in a book, whatever you do, because they will send you a series of numbers that you can put into the coupon code when you place your orders in August, and you will be able to redeem them then. And you can redeem as many as you have in a single order if you wish. You don't have to just use one at a time, which is really great. Now the other thing I wanted to talk about was they have just added 21 new products to the online exclusives. Now if you go to my store, my online store, which is this one here, jilllancet.stampinup.net, everything you need to know is in my store. Now up in this corner you can access my Facebook, Instagram, all of those social medias. You'll see the little symbols in the top corner. Just click on those, it'll take you directly to my social media. When you open my store, when the first page that you see, if you scroll down, you will see a banner telling you about the online exclusives. If you go further, you can actually download the digital catalogue and look through it there. So everything you need is in that online store. Now the other thing, I just wanted to give a plug to my classes that are in Merrylands, which is I'm in Greystanes, which is a Sydney suburb in Australia, obviously. I hold these every third Saturday of the month. It's just a monthly class at this stage. If numbers grow, I may have to have a couple a month or whatever. But at this point, it's every third Saturday of the month. Please do email me for details, and I can add you to my email list where I send out reminders of upcoming classes, etc., and deals and all that sort of stuff. You can just remind me. If you want to opt out, send me an email telling me you want to be taken off the email address list. But bookings are essential. Bookings are essential for those classes because I bring everything. Everything is supplied. You can bring your own tools and kit and stuff like that if you wish, but everything is supplied. Now there's all my details in big letters. So if you need to contact me, email is the preferred method. If you are in Australia, in Sydney, there are my 2 phone numbers. And as I said, if you go to YouTube, Facebook or Instagram, my tag name is Meraki Maven. But if you just go straight to my online store here, www.jilllancet.stampinup.net, everything's there, including those fantastic new online exclusive products. Now you won't see those anywhere else. You won't see them. They won't be in a catalogue. We've got a Christmas one coming up, but they're all listed. People are saying they're really hard to find, but if you go straight to my online store, scroll down past my welcome message, and there's a banner that will go across. Wait for the one that says online exclusives. Now, at the moment, they've also updated the clearance rack. Now, that comes under Shop Now. It comes under Specials. So go click on Specials, click on Clearance, and they've just added a whole pile of really fantastically priced products. But let me just warn you, they're not going to last long, and some of them may already be gone. As the stocks deplete, they just take them straight out. So you probably won't even know that they were there if they're already out of stock. But be quick. I hear so many people say, oh yeah, I'll look at that later, and then lament that they wanted something and it was on there and it was gone and they missed out. So yeah, do that. I mean, at least have a look at it. Even if you don't buy anything, have a look. There might be something there that you've been wanting and it might be reduced greatly. So yeah, have a look at those. That's the business out of the way. Now this card is the card that I dreamt up. Now I've had a look around and I can't see it anywhere else. I dreamt about it. I was conscious enough to sort of wake up the next morning, very, very early, I might add. I couldn't wait to get into here, and I just realised that light's not on. I couldn't wait to get in here and see if it would work. Now, I loved it so much that one of my friends asked me to make a card for him to give to somebody on their 50th birthday. So I'm going to show you that card, and I'm going to show you how you can actually customize them to suit. Now, I don't know what I'm going to call this. I think I'm going to call this the explosion card or something like that. I know there's plenty of explosion cards out there, but I don't believe anybody has made one like this. Now, the brief was that he likes cats. It's his 50th birthday. These have been computer printed in a matching colour. This is an old stamp set called Cool Cats. It's not available anymore. You may pick it up in a Stampin' Up secondhand online store somewhere. And this is the brand new, what is this called? Oh dear. Wanting to Say dies. Wanting to Say. So it cuts out the shadow and it cuts out the words. So this is how this opens. I've got a little tab. It's meant to look like a ball of yarn. I've got a bit of yarn around his tail. I'll just bring that up a little bit. Hopefully you can see it. And it opens like this. So in effect it is an explosion card. But I'm not sure if anybody else has done this before like this. Now they usually put these inside the card, and they're usually like diagonal, but yeah, this one. I did make one that just had this top corner folded. Now the difference with this is this is designer series paper, but it holds together really well because there is a piece of cardstock inside. So that's what's giving it the strength. And the little closure on the front, it just flips under there like that. Now I'm going to make a different one, obviously, because this one is exclusively for Jamie, who's turning 50. So I've got all the bits and pieces cut out. I'm going to go through that. Now there is a project sheet. If you would like the project sheet, it just gives you the details, the measurements, and the basic information. It is meant to go with this video because I don't know if you guys have ever written a tutorial, but sometimes it's extremely difficult to put something into words. You know what you want to say, but you just can't translate that. So sometimes it's easier to see. So we'll actually get started, and I'll pop that back in the bag for Jamie. Happy birthday, by the way, Jamie. And we'll get going. Now I have cut, as I said, I've got everything ready here. and I have got all the measurements for you, and I will go through this information sheet, this supply list. So I'm using the Earthen Elegance Designer Series paper. All the details are on here regarding that, but let's get going. Okay, now I'm making this for a bloke. I don't seem to make enough blokey cards, so that's what I decided to do. I'm using the stamp set Legendary Ride and the dies from there. I've got it all sorted. I've got it all here. I hope. Where is the dies? Yep, there it is there. And that one there I need. Yeah, so we'll get started. Now I've used a combination of stamp sets. Well, I'm using the one stamp set, but I'm using a couple of different dies. So I'm using the dies that go with the Legendary Ride, and I'm also using the Countryside Corners dies. So I'm going to pop everything over here. I'm trying to be more organised and more streamlined, and we'll just see how that goes. By the way, there's my July host code that I forgot to mention, which, anyway, it ends on the 1st of August. It's this series of letters and numbers. If your order is under $250, I would greatly appreciate it if you could put that in where it says host code. Thanks. Okay, so the first thing we need is a piece of DSP. Now, I've chosen this one because it's kind of blokey. And it has to be 25 by 20 centimetres. Now, I'm sorry, guys, if you use Imperial. This was tricky enough to work out, so I'm sorry. Get yourself a ruler that has both centimetres and inches on it. Okay, so all we need is this one double-sided piece of Designer Series paper, and as I said, it is 25 centimetres by 20 centimetres. Now, you're going to have plenty over for other projects, so, and that's that. Now we need to just do some scoring, and it's very straightforward, and I hope I can get my paper trimmer into the camera. Right, so we need our paper trimmer. Now, all you need to remember is 5 centimetres. So we have 20 and 25. Now, they are basically in increments of 5. So it doesn't matter which side you start on, but we are going to put this in here, and we are going to just score this at 5. Now, just be careful, don't go too heavy-handed with this. This is not cardstock, but it can tear sometimes. So just make sure you're using just the right amount of pressure. So that's 5 centimetres. We're going to move, this is the 20 centimetre side. We're going to move this over to 10 centimetres and score. And then over to 15 centimetres and score. So we've scored at every 5 centimetres. Now I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to do the same. Now I hope this fits in here, now that I've added that in the way. So we need to do the same thing. So 5 centimetres. So 5 centimetres, or you can start at 20 centimetres because this side is 25 centimetres. You can start at 20 centimetres and score. Now I'm going to close this just for ease. So that was 20 centimetres, then 15 centimetres, then 10 centimetres. I hope this is all in camera. And then 5 centimetres. So I'll run that through with you again. So now I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the scores. I hope you can. This side's a bit busy. You probably can't see them. But we have scored across the 20 centimetre side 5, 10 and 15. Putting it through your scoring, your machine here, or you could go 15, 10, 5, whatever. Then you're going to turn it around and do the same thing at 5 centimetre intervals. So 20 centimetres, 15 centimetres, 10 centimetres, and then 5 centimetres. Now, at this point in time, you may want to just pop a little bit of a pencil mark on this. Now, you can, of course, just score these outside. No, it's better to do it this way, I think. So I want to find my 10 centimetre, where is it? My 10 centimetre score line is there. Now the 10 centimetre score line is, you're not going to fold this. We just need this for our guide. Oh, there goes my pencil. What's going on here? Hang on. Pencil emergency. Okay. Or you can do it like this. Okay. Now sometimes this is easier. So you want to find your 10 mark. Put a little notch there and a little notch down the bottom. Okay, you can rub these out later. And then you want to find the 10 centimetre score line there, top and bottom. And this is across the long side. And then turn it around and find your 10 centimetre score line again. Now this will make perfect sense in a couple of minutes, okay? So I'm not sure if you can see those little marks there, but they are on the 10 centimetre score lines. Now, the 10 centimetre score line on the 20 centimetre side is halfway. But when you turn it this way, you have a 10 centimetre mark here and a 10 centimetre mark here. There's a 5 centimetre difference in the middle between those, okay? Now this is what you have to do to make it fit into our standard envelopes. So I have all of these marked and scored now. So now I need to go in here, put these diagonally. Now there's the little check mark there. I want to find the other little check mark there. And just be careful they don't move. And so there's one, there's the other. 10 centimetres from each corner, okay? 10 centimetres from each corner. And we're going to score from that mark down to that mark. And we're going to do that on all 4 corners. So don't forget, there's a bit of a gap on this long side, a 5 centimetre gap between this mark at 10 centimetres and this mark at 10 centimetres. So I'm putting that mark there. I think you'll probably be able to see that one a little bit better. So I'm popping that there. I'm popping this one down here. Now try to be as accurate as you can. And we're going to score that. Now I'm going to do all 4 of them. So if you just keep turning it around. Now when you get to this one, that score where you've just scored should be where you start your score. Now there's our little mark there. And I'm just going to move this over to there. Now, don't rely on the fact that you just checked that bottom one because they do move. So double check it. You know what the old saying is? Measure twice, cut once. We're not cutting though, we're scoring. Now this seems a bit complicated, but this is the hardest bit just about of this card. So there's my little marker there. I want it to match up to this little mark down here. There's that mark there. I'm putting that mark in the channel of the cutting blade, and that one in the channel as well. Now we're done for the minute with this. Now I'm going to fold this all up and just show you how this works. You are going to need your bone folder, and it's essential that you really give these folds a really good burnish. Sorry, I just had to have a drink. Now, it doesn't matter which way you fold these at first. We're actually going to fold them one way and then turn them over and fold them the other way, because we do need this to be very, very crisp. So the first thing I did was I went around all of the sides. Now, it's at this point in time, just to check and make sure that your score lines are really good. Okay, so I'm opening it out. I'm going back around. I'm going around all four sides first. Okay, now you'll notice that I'm not touching those ones in the middle. I'm just going around all four sides. Now, I didn't fold the center one and those two center ones either, but they are there just for your guidelines. But if you'd rather not score them and just mark them, then the measurements are there for you. But this I found was the easiest way to do it. So now we've gone all the way around all four sides. We're going to turn this over and fold them back the other way. Just those four sides at the 5 centimetre scores. And then we're going to do the diagonals. Okay, so we're back to the beginning. And now we're going to do the diagonals. Now, the diagonals can be a bit tricky. So just score them, because we may need to re-maneuver them when we're actually assembling this, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this over and do all four corners again. I wish I knew how to do diagrams on the computer. One day I might investigate that. But it hurts my brain so much to do technology stuff. Anyway, so you should have this now. So it folds up like this. Now this is how we are going to create this. Now, if you scroll back to my YouTube channel, and I might, if I remember to put the link, I made a card with just one corner. Just one corner was folded. Now this is how this come to be. I thought, if you can fold one corner, why can't you fold all four corners? So I don't know if somebody's already done this, but I'm telling you, I make cards in my sleep apparently. So what you need to do is bring these two diagonals up towards one another, and you'll see that this corner naturally wants to fold. Now, it's at this point in time, you're just going to give that a bit of a burnish, okay? Now, these can be a bit tricky. Look, don't get hung up if they're a tiny fraction out. The person that you give this card to won't be scrutinising that, unless they're another card maker perhaps. But anyway, so I've done that corner. Now I'm going to bring this one in here, and I'm going to pop that down too. Now they should, theoretically, they should meet, okay? Now, as I said, that's a tiny fraction out. Don't stress about that, please. This is meant to be enjoyment. So now we've got those two. So I'm going to turn it around and do the same with these two. And if they want to fold at the same time, then, yeah, great, good, that's good. Now, this one is a little bit out, but look, I told you I'm not going to worry about it. You can retrain your paper if you wish, but I'm seriously not going to worry about it. Okay, so now once you're happy with that, turn that thing over and give it a really, really, really good burnish from the back. Now, as you can see, this will fit into a standard envelope. And that is the basis of our card. Now, the hardest thing you have to decide is whether you want it this side out or this side out. Now, if you folded it all up and you think, no, I don't want that side out, no problem. Just turn it over and refold it. Exactly the same way. Just lift those two diagonals up and bring them in. The same with the ones on the side. But I don't know whether I want that side out or not. I did put this on. I think I might have that side out. But look, it's no big deal to refold that, honestly. Look. It's just doing exactly the same as what you had just done previously. So, two diagonals in, two diagonals in, and there you go. Okay. So it's really up to you which way you want that. But I want it this way, so I'm going to fold it back this way. Okay, so two diagonals in, two diagonals in, two diagonals in, and this poor little fellow is confused. And there we go, two diagonals in, not out. Okay, so we're back to where we started from. So you really need to give it a really good burnish because now we're going to decorate this. I like it. I thought it was kind of clever. But anyway, so the first thing we're going to do is the inside of the card. Now, this piece is just very vanilla, and it's 14 centimetres by 9 centimetres. Now, this fits in here. The reason I didn't score, like absolutely fold and score those lines there is I didn't want to confuse you. I didn't want to give this card any reason to sort of collapse in the middle. So we're going to pop this in the middle like that, but we're going to do some stamping. And you'll notice there is a bit of a border, nice border all the way around. And we are going to stamp, Dad, you are the coolest. Is that what it says? Dad, you're the coolest. Yeah. So now I have got my black memento. I've also got Pebble Path. I think is a nice, this is one of the new in colours, and I think it's just a little bit less stark than the black. So I'm going to be using that. I did get the memento out, but I think I'll use that. So we want to ink this up. Dad, you're the coolest. And it's just a soft, it's like a, almost like a warm grey, I guess you could call it. Now, look, I just buy the blank ink spots. They come with nothing, no ink in them. And then I buy the refill bottles. Very, very economical. That was Versamark, silly. And that will ink that dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times. So that's what I do. I just put a little my own little labels on it, and not only does it save money, but it saves room. If you could see this room. Anyway, Dad, you're the coolest. Now my head's probably going to get in the way here, but I'm going to do my best to pop that straight. Now, I'm at a bit of an angle, so it might not be straight. I'm just holding that on just for that ink to soak into the paper. Dad, you're the coolest. Okay, now what else I did was I'll just clean that because we all know what's going to happen, don't we? This is just one of our chamois. I cut them down. I can't remember whether I've cut them in half or in thirds. I don't know, but yeah. And then I've got this little thing here that it keeps it moist, it keeps it tidy, it keeps it out of the way. So there you go. Now, we also had a motorbike and some grass that we were going to use on the front of this card. So I think what I'll do is I'll stamp this grass along the bottom. Remember, this is the insert. This is the inside of the card. Okay. So sometimes what I like to do is when I've got one little stamp, I'll try and put one half of it on one side and then put the other half of it on the other side. So it kind of looks like it could be two stamps, but I'm cheating. So we'll put that at a different height and we'll pop it, I think, down there. Just like that. Now, of course, if you don't get this right, flip it over. Now, at this point in time, you can colour those in if you wish with your blends. I'm just going to leave it blank for today because, yeah, it's all about the technique and nothing else. Now, that can go inside there, and you've got a bit of room to write. If you are one of these people that, you know, wants to write a great essay, pop another piece of the Fairy Vanilla on the back, the same size as that, and you will have plenty of room. So I'm just going to put this in the middle of the card. It does help it stabilize it a little bit if you do this first. And if you want to know about my glue holders, they're also in previous YouTube videos, so just scroll back a few and you'll find them. Okay, so I've centered that up now. That's in the middle, just like that. Now, this doesn't actually say happy birthday or happy Father's Day, so this is a really good generic sort of card for your dad, or you can leave this part out and it can be for any blokey bloke. So now I've given that a bit of time just to do. So the next thing we're going to do, and we're going to be doing some die cutting with our little, what do you call it? Oh, Bertha. What's it called? Stamp and cut and emboss machine. Oh, dear, oh dear. Okay, so again with this. Now this is going to be our little holder that is going to hold our card closed. So I'm just going to pop this down. Hang on, let me just make sure I've got that round the right. Nope. Yes, I have. Okay, so we'll pop this one up here, in this corner up here, because we're going to die cut that out. And the good thing is it comes with dies, matching dies if you so wish, or you can just fussy cut it, just buy the stamps and just fussy cut it out. So that's on there. And the next one is the motorbike. And I haven't really used this set. I don't know why I haven't used it, but anyway. Also in, actually I might do this one in the Misty Moonlight, just to tie it in. So I'm just inking it up. Now, these ink up just as well as the big sized ink pads. It just takes you a few more goes at it, but you have more control, I feel anyway, over where you know, where you're inking it. I haven't gotten it on any of the edges or anything like that. So, yeah, up to you. But if you want to save some money and some room, yeah. And you buy the refill, and it does literally, like, I've got colours that have been discontinued from years ago. So I'm just holding that on there just to make sure that it inks up. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love Misty Moonlight. It reminds me of like faded jeans. I really love it. Anyway, that's that one. Now, they are going to be cut out. I've already cut out the other pieces just to save some time. Now, this is what I did, okay? I got the, these are called the countryside corners. Now, this is the second largest, and this is the third largest from the outside, okay? And they make beautiful little frames. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? So, and if you, like I cut up quarter of A4 panels. I get 4 from an A4 sheet, and I just keep them handy. Now, that could be used as a mat on another card. Just glue something, your designer series paper over the top of it. Don't throw that out. And if you do it in the centre, you're pretty much assured to be able to cut it down to whatever size you need it. Don't throw anything out. I never throw anything out, hence why I have to save room on ink pads. But anyway, now we're going to stamp the other greeting, which is, what does it say? Classic, authentic you since forever. So that's going to go on the front in the pebbled path. That pebble path, yep, that's the pebbled path. Gosh, I had to look then. And it's sort of, it's a bit cohesive. It comes together a little bit better when you coordinate your colours and things like that. Now, I'm going to put this up towards the top. Now, again, bear with me because my head is definitely probably going to get in the way here. Okay. Gosh, I hope that's straight. Just give that a second for the ink to connect. Beautiful, look at that. Oh, it's a bit crooked. Who cares? Handmade card, handmade with love. Okay, so that can go straight onto there. So we'll glue that on, and then we can do our die cut, assemble this. And really, I'm taking things quite slowly. It is actually quite a quick card to make once you've cut everything out and you've got everything ready to go. So I think that looks fine. Now you could also just cut out straight rectangles and then cut the same distance off each corner. If you didn't happen to have these dies, just make a mark for the same distance, little pencil mark, and then just chop the corners off. But they are so handy. They make perfect frames. Okay, so let's put all this stuff out of the way for the minute and get our little die cutting machine out, or as I like to call her, Bertha. Now, I'm sure you've seen one of these before. It comes with all the plates that you need. I try to always keep one plate as my top plate so that it doesn't get all scratched up like this, because quite often all of that can transfer to your card. I'll show you the back of it when I'm finished. Now, I reuse and reuse and reuse pieces of this removable tape. So I'm going to get the dies out. Oh, this one's already got a piece on it, so I don't really need it. So, and they're easy to line up. Now, I'm trusting that this is in camera. I hope it is. Unless the camera's moved since I put it there. Now, I always use some sort of tape. You can use washi tape, but I find this is quite thin. It's just removable sticky tape. I find it doesn't leave marks. Sometimes the washi tape will leave a mark. And the other piece is for the grass. So we will turn this around, pop that over that like that. And we'll just cut that. Now I will show you what those marks can do to your cardstock. So very, very easy to use the little stamp and cut and emboss machine. It's light. Look, one finger. And I've got arthritis in my hands. It's very easy to turn. It does sometimes make cracking noises, but that is normal. Now, normally I go backwards again. I don't know whether it's really useful or not, but there you go. So now this folds up. This does not take up a lot of room on my shelf. So space is at a premium in this little room, I can assure you. Now that pops out very, very easily. So does that one. And I will show, I don't know whether you'll be able to see. No, you might be able to see some little scrape marks on there. But sometimes that bottom plate will leave marks. So that's why I always try to keep one clean, so to speak. Okay, so we've got our little die cuts. I'll just pop those over there out of the way. The plates go back up on the shelf. And it's time to put this together. Now, you may want to... Oh, I think I did actually. I think I did. Just hang on. Hold your horses, honey. I think I actually cut a couple of the grass scenes so that I would have a bit of strength behind it. I did, and I think I forgot to put that on the notes, but that's okay. We'll cut them again. It's easy to do because it's going to be the closure. It needs to have a bit of heft behind it, if you know what I mean. So we'll cut another two, and I don't have to line these ones up. I just have to cut them out, and we're going to pop them all, we're going to stack them one on top of the other. So there's another one, and we'll put this one this way. So look, very small little piece of cardstock, and we've got all that stuff cut out of it. Oh, I hope that went right through. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I forgot about that. Pop that out. And we can put that away now. Okay, so the first thing I think we'll do is glue all these. We'll stack these all together. And so you don't want gallons of glue on this. Now, it might help if you have tweezers, whatever sort of tweezers you have. Sometimes these things can be a little bit tricky to line up and hold. I'll pop it on here on my silicone mat. First of all, we'll be able to see it. And if any glue comes out, yeah, it's only going to go on there, and it's easy to come off. So pop them together, and they're easy to line up because they're quite uniquely shaped. So that's that one done. We'll pop some glue on this one now on the top. This is just our standard very vanilla. It is not the thick. If you wanted to, you could use the thick, but I don't have any at the moment, so there we go. Done. Now just fiddle around with that till you're happy with it. So now we've got 3 layers of cardstock, so it's a little bit sturdier than it was previously. Okay, now where's all our bits and pieces? So we have this, very, very quick to make. Should have done that in, maybe in Misty Moonlight, don't know. Too late now, figure it out. So what we need to do is to position this and center it up. Now I'm just laying this on here at this point in time, okay? So the way that I do gluing things like this is I put glue on this edge of this piece, so I know I'm not going further, and then I put glue on this piece. Now the cat opened the other way, but this one, because of our closure being the shape that it is, I need this to have the larger part on there. So we might even stamp another grassy knoll on here. Now I have obviously already glued this on here, so to make sure I don't go over onto my Misty Moonlight, I'm just going to take a piece of post-it note, line it up here, line another one up here. I'm just basically making a mask to cover that so that I don't stamp on there. So there we go. Hope that's straight, cross your fingers, all the rest of that. Beautiful. Now I should have done that first, but there's always a way. Okay, so he's on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on the back of this top part here and on this corner here. That is our closure, okay? So a bit of glue on here and on the top of this, just along this line here. Now don't go right to the edge because you're going to end up, that's going to ooze out. Now you may want to put something heavy on this because it does want to spring up, but make sure you've got it where you want it. So line it up where you want it. And that looks pretty darn good to me. So sometimes you can just pop a big block on that. Now I've got some really old blocks here, so I'll just pop that on there for a minute. Now the next thing we're going to do is decide where we're going to pop this. So we want this to hold that in place. So we need a dimensional, but we need it on this part here. So just a normal dimensional will be fine because we've got enough room here. So we want that to catch it. So we want this over here, just on the back like that. And it's good to do it when it's down like this. So we know our dimensionals there. We can pop that there like that. And we want to pop up our motorbike. So a couple of dimensionals on that while that's drying. One there. One there. Oh, look for, that should be plenty. Where's my take your pick? This card's finished. Basically, as soon as we put this little motorbike on the front, it's finished. And there we go. Let's make sure he's straight, if nothing else is. Okay, so there's our little card. Now, you may find that you need to really give those a really burnish. But it will fit into a standard envelope. Now, I don't want to push my luck with that glue. I'm sure it is stuck, but that's how it opens. And it opens out like that. Please let me know what you think. Please put a comment down below. I'll try and put the link to those other videos that I mentioned. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe that should have gone over a bit further. I don't know, but this one certainly closes. I think the more you burnish it, the better it gets. So yeah, have a go at that. Let me know what you think. And please email me if you have any questions. I'll just keep burnishing it until I'm happy with it. And you can burnish it from the back before you put everything on it, obviously. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've seen this somewhere before. Maybe I have seen it subconsciously and then I've just dreamt about it. But yeah, I mean, it's not one of those ones that you're going to kind of be able to stand up unless you want it to stand up. I don't know, like that. I don't think it's going to stand up. But anyway, I thought it was different. I thought it was cute. I had to get it out of my dreams and onto paper. So, yep, just let me know what you think. I mean, of course, you can put something else there to hold that, besides the grass. But, yep. Okay, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that puts comments up, and I do try to reply to each and every one of them. And I'm so grateful that everybody that has subscribed and has clicked on the like button. It means so much to me. Yeah, you've got no idea how much it means to me to think that people are actually watching my videos. But thank you so much. JewelLancet.stampinup.net, and that will take you to everything you need to know. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you on Wednesday.